Yeah, that'll work.
Welcome to Londonderry High School, where we will bring you tonight's Division I football action straight from Londonderry, New Hampshire, as the visiting Bedford Bulldogs will take on the Londonderry Lancers. My name's Corey Munster Tiger. I'm here in the booth with Chris Von Pischel. Chris, expectations for tonight?
Expectations are high. We have a young team here, but they are determined and looking forward to a battle here with Bedford Bulldogs.
Absolutely gorgeous fall night. We're starting to get that crisp weather here. We had a waxing crescent across the way, but it has now disappeared behind the clouds. Just an absolutely perfect night for football.
Perfect fall evening.
Absolutely. Senior night here in Londonderry. We had 24 seniors that were honored from this football team earlier this evening, as well as, let me get the numbers, 6 senior Lancer dancers, as well as 1 cheerleader. So nice chance for them to be honored and celebrate all of their hard work over their high school careers here. And we're just about ready for kickoff. Team captains are meeting out there at midfield. Chris, the Lancers come in with a 2-4 record. They've had their struggles this year. Any thoughts from thus far in the season?
Yeah, it's been a tough season for them so far overall, but they are hanging together as a group, still loving the game, still getting out there and playing hard. They're a young team. They're a smaller team, so I think the trenches is where they're trying to get better week in and week out. But communication's good, and it's really about just building this team and getting better each week.
You mentioned that the Lancers had a pretty big graduating class last year, both numbers-wise as well as physically, so that's adding to their struggles on the gridiron.
Yeah, a lot of what they've worked on really is, as they're smaller, out hustling and really getting off the ball fast. And especially for those guys on the front, on both the defensive and offensive lines.
Chance for Coach Lausanne to retool after they went to the finals last year. Unfortunately, they lost to the Pinkerton Astros. However, great season last year for the Lancers. Now they are in rebuilding mode.
Yep. How are you guys come in? You guys have had a solid record?
Absolutely. The Bulldogs come in with a 6-0 record, overall 5-0 in New Hampshire. They will play the Lancers tonight, as well as their final game against the Keene Blackbirds next week. Appropriately so on Halloween, they'll be taking on the Blackbirds, so it should be an interesting tilt to close the season. But they've come in and done phenomenally well throughout this season. They've gotten senior leadership from quarterback, not Zach, definitely not Zach Matthews. It is Bennett Matthews back there, number 13, guiding the offense. He'll have the opportunity to start things off as the Bulldogs won the toss. They chose to receive. We have frequently seen them defer, but now they'll take the ball and see if they can start this game on the right foot. Also senior contributions from Brody Helton, 2 phenomenal powerhouses that we'll see a lot of tonight running the ball. And they've gotten contributions up and down the block from Bryson Durso, as well as recent addition Landon Elsmore as he joined the team a few games into the season. Senior captain Connor Flaherty, as well as senior captain Brennan Krause, will be contributors along the way as well. We're ready to kick things off. 12 minutes on the board. The ball is in the air. Short kickoff. Lands about the 30-yard line, bobbled, but then grabbed by Durso. He's going to take it up the middle, and he's tackled just outside the 30-yard line. where the Bulldogs will take over on the offensive end. We're joining you tonight on Bedford Community TV, BC TV, as well as Londonderry TV. We're also broadcasting tonight on WBNH 105.1. So apologies right away as we talk a little bit more than normal for a TV broadcast, as we are broadcasting out on the radio as well. The Bulldogs break their huddle and they're ready for their first offensive play from scrimmage. Matthews has Helton to his left, 3 wide receivers to the left. His tight end is to the right. He barks out the signals, takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Helton, and he'll take it himself off the right-hand side of the line. Through that A gap, gets out about a 9-yard carry close to the 40-yard line, what'll be 2nd and 2 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and I think what we saw here was very indicative of last week as Londonderry was playing Salem. Able to hit right at the line of scrimmage, but then got dragged down a few more yards, as you saw in that last play.
That will be a challenge for this Londonderry defense, as we know Helton and Matthews have been beasts running the ball throughout the season. Matthews, same set, although Helton to his right. He'll fake to Helton again. Actually, he gives it to Helton through that A gap again on the right side of the line, and he pushes forward for about a 4-yard gain and a first down out to the Bedford 48-yard line. The Bulldogs are in their away uniforms tonight. White jerseys, black pants, black numbers. The Lancers, home unis, blue tops, white pants, white numbers. Classic looks. They're all looking sharp out there, and hopefully they're looking sharp from the line of scrimmage. Matthews with a 3-receiver set out to his left, tight end is right. Helton to his right, he's in the gun. Sends Durso in motion left to right. Fakes the jet sweep, stumbles a little bit, lost his footing there. Now his helmet falls off. He's actually going to have to go out for a play based on that helmet popping off. So he'll walk to the sideline. The referees take a timeout right away to prevent anything from happening safety-wise for the player who lost his helmet, being Bennett Matthews. They're going to put Parker Beauchemin in for this 2nd and 10 play as Matthews takes a mandatory 1 play off. 2 minutes into this contest here, first quarter, 0-0, first possession here for the Bulldogs as Beauchemin in for Matthews briefly will take the snap. Trips bunch to the left. Wide receiver is out to the right. Handoff to Helton up the middle. He goes off the left guard this time out to the 50-yard line for a 7-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs offense. Again, as you mentioned, Chris, decent contact up front, but then these tacklers are going for a ride as they try to wrap up.
Yeah, that seems to be one of the struggles here, and I know they worked on that this week all through practice. Also, knowing that Bedford is a big running team, both through the quarterback and their running back, that they may send some spy different formations out there just to keep an eye on them.
3rd and a long 3 for Matthews. He's got a 3-receiver set. Takes the snap, hands it off to Helton, right side, off tackle, gets close to that first down yardage. Let's see where that spot is. He might be just short. To me, I'm guessing this is 4-down territory here on the right hash, just over the 50-yard line. They're on the Lancers 47. I would expect Coach Matthews to press the limits here. We're going to take a timeout, though. The officials will stop the clock. They're going to bring the chains out. I'm going to call short on this. Chris, what are you looking at from here?
Yeah, I think we're just slightly short here, and I think based on the way the first couple runs have gone, I'd be surprised if they don't go for it as well.
So likely a 4th and inches. The teams get a moment to collect themselves. Ooh, actually. Hold on. One of the referees was standing on the chains. No, I'm just kidding. They weren't. They did it correctly. And the Bulldogs, by the nose of the football, will move the sticks. 1st down and 10 for the Bulldogs on the 47. Clock resumes. Players in their huddles. The Londonderry faithful cheering on their defense to try to stop this offense. Matthews back out Helton to his left. Slot right. Up back in the right position, so a 4 wide receiver set. Matthews takes the snap, looks to the left-hand side. Now he's going to run it. Tucks it under his arm, runs over a linebacker, gets to the second level, runs over a couple other tacklers, bowls his way down to the 25 and inside the 25-yard line. After a marvelous run, he pulled it down quickly, decided that he didn't have his first option available, and made about a 21-yard gain down inside the 25-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, it seemed Londonderry had a chance to wrap him up a couple of times, and he was able to bounce off and keep going. But again, some of the issues that we saw last week starting to rear their heads again.
Matthews a very physical runner. He's a strong kid, big kid, tough to bring down, so you can't only fault those tacklers, as he's shown that same ability throughout the season. 1st and 10 on the 25. Matthews, 3 receivers out to the left. Tight end is right, Helton to his left in the backfield. He takes the snap, hands it to Helton, who goes off the right-hand side. Nice job of tackling him, but not after a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs on the 21-yard line heading in. 7.5 remaining in this first quarter. 0-0 is your score, as the Bulldogs are taking their first possession that started back on the 31-yard line and marching down this field. Only really one play that was a passing play, and that was that last one where Matthews tucked it under his arm and ran for 20 yards. Matthews sends in motion, left to right. Defense jumps. They might have gone across into the neutral zone. The Bulldogs might get an easy 5 here.
Yeah, I think able to catch them on the quick cadence.
It would be nice if our official has a mic. Does he have a mic tonight? Love it when they do. They
Does not
don't.
look like yet.
They don't.
Nope.
Neutral zone infraction there. Offside. 5-yard penalty marches the Bulldogs ahead 5, so it'll be a short 2nd and 1 for the Bulldogs on the Londonderry 16-yard line. Clock continues to tick at 6:50 with Matthews back out, slot right. Split wide to the left is Elsmore. Helton is behind him in the gun. Motion left to right. Matthews takes the snap, hands it off to Helton on the right-hand side. They're going to test it again. He's got first down yardage inside the 10, down to maybe the 7, where it'll be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. They'll stop the clock briefly as they move the chains. And Coach Matthews will dial something up here to see if they can get into the end zone on this first possession. Ball's on the right hash. 6:32 and winding, as this offense has looked solid throughout this first possession. Trips bunch to the right-hand side, split out to the left is Elsmore. Matthews has Helton behind him in the gun. Takes the snap, hands it off to Helton up the middle. Off the right-hand side of the line, he bowls his way down inside the 5. Looks to be about the 3, maybe the 4. We'll see where they spot it.
Yeah, certainly a heavy dose of run so far from Bedford, as expected, and so far it's worked pretty well for them. So
we have a flag on the play, though. I didn't see a flag come down. Oh, it's on the near side here. I missed the dirty laundry. Yeah. Sitting at the 9-yard line on the near side. Illegal procedure on the Bulldogs, so that'll march them back 5 yards. From the 7, it should be spotted at about the 12. And we will have a 1st and goal from the 12 for the Bulldogs. Three receivers out to the left. Tight end is right. Helton to the right of Matthews, who's in the shotgun. Motion man is Durso left to right. They fake the jet sweep. Matthews keeps it and goes up the middle. Now breaks to the right-hand side. He's got daylight and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. The first possession of the game ends in a 12-yard touchdown run by Bennett Matthews. And the Bulldogs are ahead 6-0.
Yeah, I know one of the strategies for Londonderry was to try to get them in some longer and behind the chain positions. And even with that, they were able to push through with no problem.
This offense is just so talented, too many different options. And in that case, Matthews tucked it under his arm and found pay dirt. Extra point coming, snap is back. Hold is down, kick is up. It looks a little shy, but it is good. And the Bulldogs go up 7-0 on the touchdown run by Bennett Matthews. We'll see the Lancers here, see if they can answer this, as Sully Darren will guide the Lancer offense. It'll be going left to right for you guys on the radio dial.
Yeah, I think you'll see a slightly different cadence as Londonderry comes out, because they're a little more balanced when it comes to running and throwing the ball, just because, as we mentioned earlier, they are a little smaller on size, so trying to beat the wall right up the line. You're going to see Sully draw back and throw a few times. Some of his favorite targets are Devin Van Avery, number 18, as well as Davis McGarian, number 87, on the tight end, usually somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, you mentioned that balance. We have seen a good amount of balance from that Bulldogs offense. In this case, I think they were just testing that run until they needed to pass. Really only one pass play called in that entire first possession. And again, we talked about this. That was just Matthews tucking it down after his first option was covered. So we'll see about that balanced approach here from the Lancers. Elijah Todd back to kick for the Bulldogs. Ready to receive, looks like Jackson Rayo back there, as well as Adrian Cruz. Taking a run up the middle. That was not Cruz, that was actually Kalen Murphy. Brought it out past the 30-yard line. They spotted at the 33.
Yep, Adrian Cruz has entered as the running back, and you'll find him. He'll test the middle, usually in the first couple, and then they'll start to push it wide. So you'll see how that goes on the first couple of plays.
See how he tries to bounce it to the outside, depending on how well that defensive line plugs up the middle.
Yep, he's a stout senior, lower to the ground, but he runs hard for sure.
Darren comes out, empty backfield. Slot right, slot left, up back to the right. Motion man goes left to right. Darren calls the signals. He's going to roll to the right-hand side, looks to the flat, now looks deeper. He's got some room, and he tucks it and runs out of bounds on the near sideline. He'll be forced out at the 39-yard line. He'll give him a 4-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Lancers. Good coverage there by the Bulldogs, and good decision-making there by Sully Darren. Rolled out, didn't find his men, decided to keep it and get positive yardage.
Yeah, and that's some of the growth from Darren this year. Earlier in the season, he would have thrown that in. You know, sometimes some good results, sometimes some not so good results. But good job in tucking it there and picking up some first couple yards.
Empty backfield on that first play. There'll be a back behind Darren this time. He's got 3 receivers out to the left. Motion man goes right to left. They'll run the jet sweep. Trying that left-hand side of the line. Avoiding a couple tacklers and ahead for first down yardage. That's Jackson Rayo. Just past the 45-yard line. Well, it depends on the spot. Yeah, they got it. Right on the 45. And they move the linesman ahead.
Yeah, Jackson Rayo's been a bright spot this year. He is a freshman. So they nickname him 14, and this is 14 playing against a bunch of much older gentlemen, but he's fast. You'll see him flash a bit in the passing game as well.
The youngster making an impact there with that first down run. 6 yards on the carry for Rayo, and he moves the sticks for the Lancers. 4 receiver set again for Darren. He's in the gun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to the right-hand side, deep down the side, going for Rayo. He's got it. Down to the 20-yard line, Rayo. Huge play early in this game. Defending on the play, Connor Sturgis couldn't quite make a play on the ball, and Rayo follows up that 6-yard run with a 35-yard reception, and he puts the Lancers knocking on the door of the red zone.
Yeah, it was a high contested ball, and it was good concentration by Jackson Rayo just to pull it in.
One-on-one coverage back there as Sturgis did not have help. Great delivery by Sully Darren, and a great play on the ball by Rayo. And as you hear the Londonderry faithful, he is just a freshman. We just talked about that. Darren takes a snap, looks back to the left. Wide receiver screen coming from the left-hand side. Gobbled up after a 5-yard gain.
Right,
that was Devin Van Avery on the catch, ahead for 5 yards.
Yep, he's a junior and one of Darren's favorite targets. You'll see him a lot going wide and catching, getting in some of the long pass game just like Rayo was. But they'll sneak him underneath for a screen every now and then.
6'2", 180 for Van Avery. He's got a wide range. He'll split out to the right-hand side. 3 receivers set for Darren. He has Cruz behind him in the shotgun. They try the hard count to get an easy 5 yards. No call. Coach Lozon not happy about that, but he yells in some signals as Darren will reset. Motion man right to left. Snap back. Looks to the left-hand side, out to the flat. It's incomplete. Intended for the big tight end that you've talked about, Davis McGarrian. But it is incomplete off his hands as it was a little bit low and to the right. He had to adjust, and unfortunately, it falls to the ground incomplete. 3rd and 5 for this Lancers offense on the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it was a little low, and I think he was well covered as well. So even if he caught it, there wasn't going to be much good to it one way or another.
2:33 left in this first quarter. Your score is 7-0 as the Bulldogs scored on their first possession, and we've nearly eaten up the entire first quarter on 2 possessions alone. Darren comes back to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers set, takes the snap, hands it off. Cruz takes it up the middle. He's got room. He's got pay dirt. 15-yard touchdown run. Adrian Cruz answers the Bulldogs, and we are just about tied.
Yeah, right up the middle, was able to break 1 tackle, and then after that, I don't think he was touched. So wide open grass right in front of him.
Adrian Cruz dazzles. You're right, he shook off that 1 tackler right around the line of scrimmage, and nobody else touched him on his way to pay dirt. Extra point is ready. Snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. It looks good. It is good. And we are tied at 7.
Strong answer by the Lancers. They're going to have to keep that momentum with the first drive that Bedford had.
So 7-7 is your score as the Lancers march their own 67 yards down the field. 2:27 remaining here in the first quarter. Some fireworks already. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, well, I think it's great. As you saw from the Lancers, I was expecting a little more of a balance with the pass and the run, which we saw. And then Bedford on their first stand, they knew they were going to have a little more power from the front lines, and they just ran right behind them.
Jackson Rayo with 2 spectacular plays. Well, one more spectacular than the other, to be fair. A 6-yard run to get a first down, but then to put them in good position at the 45, then catches a 35-yard bomb from Darren and sets them up, just knocking on the red zone door.
Yeah, I've seen both sides are really trying to get their top players going early in the game.
Kickoff deep, that's Jacob Welch. Taken down inside Bedford territory. Durso scrambling, bouncing off tacklers. Out past the 50-yard line is Bryson Durso on a marvelous run back. He's into Londonderry territory, close to the 46-yard line. I think they'll mark him at the 47. But sets up the Bulldog offense in good shape here for field position-wise, as they have their second offensive possession of this first quarter.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of juking or jiving or anything. It's straight up and just bulldozering people over.
That is his M.O., as he likes to be rough and tumble. makes some nice spin moves here, puts his shoulders down, and tries to punish the tacklers that come at him. He has been a nice spark for this offense and providing another option for Bennett Matthews. 4 receivers set for Matthews. He has 3 to the right, 1 split to the left. Helton to the left of him in the backfield. He takes the snap. Looks to the right-hand side, delivers down the right side, and it's picked off. Picked off by the Lancers.
Devin Van Avery
Devin Van Avery.
Little on the offense, but also plays cornerback on defense as a starter. So he's a tall boy, so able to go up there and high point it.
First turnover of the game on the first play from scrimmage. Second possession, Matthews throws the pick. And Londonderry will take over on their own 16-yard line, maybe the 17.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna have to be their plan of attack is, get a timely turnover and just try to work it down the field, because we know Bedford's gonna run behind that line and they're gonna be there on a constant basis.
So big play here early as Van Avery comes up with the pick and gives Darren the ball back. They'll hand it off up the middle. Cruz ahead close to the 20-yard line.
Number 23,
just past the 20. So they'll give him 3 yards on the carry. 2nd and 7 upcoming as we tick inside 2 minutes in this first quarter. 7-7 is your score.
Yeah, quick moving quarter so far, but highlighted with a couple scoring drives from both sides.
The Lancers back to the line of scrimmage. Sully Darren with a 3-receiver set. Cruz behind him in the shotgun. The Bulldogs show blitz. They do come, slung out here to the near side, flat, ahead, close to first down yardage. The ball pops out late, but the receiver was down. That was complete to Braden Ayers. Looks like they'll give him 6 yards and be short of first down yardage. Never mind, they give him the first down.
That's twice they've done that to us.
Yeah, they're playing games with us, Chris. I don't like it. 1st and 10 for the Lancers on their own 27. Darren takes the call from the sideline, gets back into the huddle. Who else should we look for big plays here? We've seen Rayo come up with a huge catch. We see Cruz with a touchdown. Any other names that we should look for here in the first half?
Yeah, I think you had Braden Ayers right there that just got into the game, and I think they're really going to look to get
see one here. Cruz breaking one near side to the right side of the line of scrimmage into Bedford territory. We're seeing Cruz speak up for this offense. He's tackled at the Bulldogs 48.
Yeah, I was going to say Davis McGarry is another one. I'm sure they're going to want to get into it. But Cruz is he's an emotional leader of this group. He's a senior, and so I'm sure today's going to mean a lot to him.
He shows that emotion as he pops up from that long run into Bedford territory. They mark him on the 49, so it's 1st and 10 for the Lancers. He popped up, pointed his arm, and first down yardage like an official. And the Lancers have something brewing here again after that interception. They started on their own 17. They're in Bulldog territory. Darren takes the snap, hands it to Cruz. He tries to go up the middle and runs into a brick wall. That is Helton coming up from his linebacker position, helped out by Connor Flaherty. Connor Flaherty, a small 6'4", 300 on the roster. 2nd and 9 for the Lancers upcoming. As the first quarter expires, 7-7 is your score in this Lancers offense, back in possession as they're looking to make some moves. We do want to thank our BCTV underwriters. We're sharing this broadcast here with the Londonderry TV folks, but we at BCTV and WBNH would like to thank our underwriters for supporting our live sports coverage. Primary Bank, the Wicks Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, and Great New Hampshire Restaurants. That's T-Bones and the Copper Door. Some fireworks there, Chris, in that first quarter. We saw the Bulldogs go on a 69-yard touchdown jaunt, ending up with Matthews and a 12-yard touchdown run, and then answered right away as Cruz came back with a 15-yard touchdown run of his own, highlighted by Rayo and his 35-yard catch. What else should we see? Any other wrinkles, any other tricks up Coach Lauzon's sleeve here?
He does always seem to have a trick or two, but I think you're going to see a continuation of what we've seen so far. Some runs up the middle. I think you'll see we haven't had many runs off the edges. I'm sure that will come into play here soon. But another item that a wrinkle that Lauzon likes is the little screen right over the line, right? Not off to the side, but at least right up the middle. And you'll see that go. We had one go to Van Avery, but you'll see that go to Davis McGarry as well.
Yeah, I think they tried that a little bit earlier. The throw was a little low and to the right for McGarry and wasn't able to make the catch. So Darren fakes the snap. He's going to go deep on the left-hand side, looking down the left-hand side for Van Avery and overthrows his target. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, it seemed Van Avery slowed up just for a second. And if he just kept the sprint, I think it might have landed right in his hands.
He does not. It does not. 3rd and 9 for the Lancers. Started with a very strong run earlier in this possession. Adrian Cruz getting out past midfield, and now the Lancers facing a 3rd and 9. Not likely 4-down territory here unless they can get something somewhat close to that first down yardage. Need to get down to the 38 and a half. Darren with a 4-receiver set, fakes the handoff, blown up early. Cruz gets out of it somehow, but not for long as the Bulldogs defense swarms to get a tackle for loss. They'll lose about 5 on that one, and the Lancers will face a 4th and 14.
Yeah, Bedford was in there super quick on that one. I think the good part of that for the Lancers is everybody was able to hold on to the ball. The ball didn't wind up on the ground.
Looked like Helton was through quickly on a blitz from his linebacker position. 4th and 14. The Lancers offense still out there. Potentially a quick kick, or maybe they're going to go for this here. Big play early on in this game. They're on their own 48-yard line. Need to get to the Bedford 38 and a half. It'll be a quick kick as Sully Darren gets it off, and it bounces to the far sideline just outside the 20-yard line. There is a flag on the play back in Londonderry territory, sitting on the 46-yard line. Legal procedure on the Lancers. We'll see how Coach Matthews wants to deal with this. And he's going to make him kick it again.
All right, looks like they're bringing everybody back.
They sure are. The offense who had trotted out on the field will go back to the sideline. Similar for the Lancers defense, they'll go back to the sideline. Referees will march off the yardage on that procedure call, 5 yards back. So back down to the Lancers 42, 43. The Bulldogs will now have a chance to set up a return as they put Matthews and Helton deep to receive this punt. Can't quite see the number of the punter. Chris, who normally does it for the Lancers?
I think it's Lucas Palma, number 6. But like I said, they've been a couple different ones that have punted, but we'll see who it is.
Number was not really available for us. It was 4. It hits one of the Bulldogs players, and they're scrambling for it on the return. This could be a big play depending on who has it, and the Lancers have covered it. Tough one there, as we see on the replay. It hit Elsmore, whose back was to the ball, just couldn't find it. And the Lancers come up with a big special teams play here.
Yeah, and it was number 4, Bradley Higgins, with the punt. It is a short punt. I think everybody was looking for it to go over their head and hit them off the back. And another big turnover for the Londonderry Lancers, keeping that vaunted Bedford rushing attack on the sideline.
7-7 is your score. 10:33 left in the first half. The Lancers coming up with a big break as they punted it away, but the punt was short, hit off a Bedford player, and the Lancers covered it. They're back in business, 1st and 10. Darren, little receiver screen in the middle. They're ahead for 4, maybe 5. They're still pushing ahead. They get down to the 35-yard line. Ball pops out, but I think the whistle had blown on forward progress, so they'll mark him down on the 35-yard line. 2nd and 5 for the Lancers.
Yeah, they got a good push. The referees let the pile go for a little while just to see where it was going to go, but eventually called it.
Braden Ayers on the catch for the Lancers. Sully Darren gets the signals from Coach Lozon. 9:50 and counting here in the second quarter. 7-7 is your score.
Yeah, Londonderry's been a little more pass heavy than usual. Usually a few more runs mixed in there, but I'm sure that'll come out.
Might see some more passing here as Darren has an empty backfield. No, though, they fake the jet sweep. Darren keeps it up the middle. Good run for the quarterback. We're going to get a flag at the 27-yard line. That's usually in the area of a hold. So we'll keep the sticks where they are and sort out the yellow hanky on the ground. Nice ball fake there by Sully, though. Sully Darren faked to Cruz out to the left-hand side, kept it himself and went just off the left guard. It's going to be a hold on the Londonderry Lancers, so it'll be 10 yards from the spot of that. They'll effectively lose about 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 or so for the Lancers on the Bulldogs 37. See the official calling the hold there. Tough one there for Darren, as he had great positive yardage there. He was down around the 20-yard line, about a 15-yard gain.
Yeah, good choice to pull it down and run. About 4 or 5 yards before he actually ran into someone and then was able to hit for a few more yards.
Darren back to the line of scrimmage on the 37, 2nd and 7 for the Lancers. 3 receivers set. And now Coach Lozon will take a timeout. Didn't like the formation or the defense or something. Maybe it was the timing, whatever it was. The Lancers take a timeout. 9:10 left here in the second quarter. 7-7 is your score with the Lancers back in Bedford territory, seeing what they can do.
Yeah, Londonderry needs to capitalize on some of these turnovers to keep this game going. So they've got a good set of momentum now. They've got to continue to push that down the field. You know, they've done that both on some long passes and some short screens, but they really need to capitalize on these if they're going to keep getting these turnovers, or they could lose that momentum.
Special teams already playing a factor on that punt, as we saw the Lancers come up with an interception, the first play from scrimmage for the Bulldogs in their second possession, picked off by Van Avery. Put the ball back deep inside Lancer territory. They got a great run. Tried to make something of that interception, but had to punt it away. But on the punt, came up with a huge play in that special team situation. Hit off the back of a player on the Bulldogs squad. Put the Lancers back in business. So here they are, 2nd and 7. Again, 9:10 left here in the first half. 7-7 is your score. Sully Darren has a 3-receiver set. Cruz behind him. False start here on the Lancers. That'll march them back 5 yards. And that could be some of that inexperienced offensive play that you've been referring to a little bit earlier in the broadcast, Chris.
Yeah, I think that, plus obviously with the turnover, they got a lot of emotion going on. So it's easily to see that jump from either of those two. We'll never know which one it was, but right now the Londonderry Lancers are moving in the wrong direction.
2 negative yardage penalties makes it 2nd and 12. They're on the Bulldogs' 42-yard line. They come to the line of scrimmage with a 3-receiver set. Cruz behind Darren in the shotgun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff deep down the right-hand side. The post out move. Look for the corner as the intended receiver was Owen Crafts, incomplete. Would have been an absolute dime. The coverage was decent back there, as I believe Matthews was back there in coverage. And it does fall incomplete. So 3rd and 12 for the Lancers.
They're getting their second test with long distance to go. But good throw by Sully there, just missed. Would have been a big play for them.
Darren breaks the huddle. Cruz behind him in the shotgun. He has a 3-receiver set. Slot right, split left. We have an up back here. So 4 receivers set. Darren hands it off to Cruz. He'll take it to the right-hand side, gets ahead, breaks 2 or 3 tackles, but no more, as coming in to help mop things up was big number 55, Braden Calkins.
Yeah, and I think you'll see here, this is typical Coach Lozon uses it as 4-down territory. So I think you'll see the offense stay out in the field.
4th and 6, that offense does stay out there. They're on the Bedford Bulldogs 36-yard line. And we'll see how Coach Lozon comes up with another 6 yards to move these sticks. Sully Darren, 4 receivers set. Cruz to the left of him in the shotgun. He'll take an extra step back, perhaps to give himself a little room for a quick kick, and that's what we see. Punt lands inside the 5 and trickles into the end zone as they tried to pin the Bulldogs offense back deep, and they still will. The Bulldogs will have possession after the touchback on the 20-yard line. 8:11 to go here in the first half. 7-7 is your score, and the Bulldogs with their 3rd offensive possession after a touchdown and a pick. We'll see if Matthews can dial up the right combo to take the lead.
Yeah, the Bedford offense has been sitting on the sidelines for a little while, so we'll see what they come out with. They've certainly had some time to work on whatever they might want to.
We'll see what they've worked on as they come out. A 3-receiver set to the left-hand side, tight end to the right. Helton to the left of Matthews. He'll fake the handoff, take it up the middle, and now dances to the left-hand side of the line. Out past the 25-yard line to the 27. 7-yard gain will leave 2nd and 3 for the Bulldog offense.
And on the tackle was number 14, Dylan Seaberg. Gain of 7 on the play.
This Londonderry defense has done a nice job throughout the first part of this game. Couple of long runs, but they've been able to wrap up some tacklers. And as you said, part of a good defense is a good offense. They've largely kept this Bulldog offense off the field with an interception and then that crucial special teams play. Lancers unable to capitalize on either of those plays. Matthews now back in control. Motion man goes left to right. 3 receivers now to the right. Matthews toss sweep to Helton. They cave in that left side of the defense. Helton is ahead for 1st down yardage out past the 30. They'll mark him at the 33 where it will be 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
Yeah, solid blocking by the wide receiver on this side to give him that edge.
Bryson Durso caving in the cornerback, giving Helton a little bit of room to breathe on this right side. And the Bulldogs move the sticks. Some substitutions for the Lancers as Dante Fabiano comes in. Looks like he'll be in that linebacker position. Looks like a 3-deep coverage for the Lancers defensive backfield. Durso switches position to the left of Matthews. 2 backs in the backfield. Matthews takes the snap. Hands to Helton. He goes to the left-hand side. He's got some room, and he's got a lot of it. Gets to the 2nd level. Fakes inside, goes outside into Lancer territory. He'll go out of bounds close to the 25-yard line, and that's the first big one that we've seen Helton break off. It gives the Bulldogs the first big play on offense they've seen this evening.
Yeah, they were a big hole there on the left-hand side, and the receivers were blocking downfield well for them. Looked like there could have been some holding on some of those blocks, but there's no yellow napkin on the ground, so all good from here.
No dirty laundry, and the Bulldogs will have 1st and 10 on the Lancer 28. As Matthews breaks the huddle. 4 receivers. Slot right, split left, up back is left. Motion left to right is Zane Beskar. Matthews takes the snap, fakes to Helton, looks to the left-hand side, delivers down that left sideline. Tripping up was Landon Elsmore. Couldn't quite get his feet settled, and he was falling to the ground as he tried to get one hand up and stab it, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looks like he had him open on that side, but I think he just, like you said, he just lost his feet and kind of more tripped over himself and tried to stab it with one arm, and that's always a tough catch.
He was backpedaling, trying to give himself a little bit more room as he had turned his shoulders completely around, and that caused him to stagger. So incomplete. 2nd and 10 for Matthews. A back on either side. Helton to the left, Durso to the right. Slot right, tight left. Matthews will run it to the right-hand side. Picks a hole, cuts it back, gets to the second level. More tackling issues for the Lancers as Helton gets down deep into Lancer territory with a first down. Just outside the 10, they'll mark him at the 13.
Yeah, Londonderry with a couple chances to bring him down, one behind the line of scrimmage, and then about 2 or 3 times downfield, and they were finally able to gang tackle, bring him down.
So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. 6:08 left here in the second quarter. 7-7 is your score, but the Bulldogs will take a timeout and talk through this possession as they want to get some more points on the board. Quick update from the field hockey world as the Londonderry Lancers beat Concord 1-0 in their game, and the Bedford Bulldogs beat Merrimack 6-0 in their game. These two teams will meet each other on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Possibly some coverage on BCTV, not quite sure of that programming yet, but we try to bring you as much playoff action as possible. So congratulations to both the Lancers and the Bulldogs field hockey teams for advancing.
Both coaches out there to try and inspire their teams as they continue with the last 6:08 in this second quarter.
As you say, 6:08 left in the first half. 7-7 is your score. The Bulldogs back to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 on the Lancer 13. 3 receivers set out to the right. Beskar, the tight end, to the left. Matthews has Helton to his left in the backfield. Matthews takes the snap, goes to the left-hand side through that B gap in between the tackle and guard on the left. He'll get ahead for about 5 yards, where it will be 2nd and 5 on the 8-yard line. This is where that ground game will pay off for the Bulldogs. Pounding inside behind their big offensive linemen. They ran behind Flaherty that time. Like I said, a small 6'4", 300. They like to utilize his girth and strength and technique to help bolster their offensive running game. Matthews will take the snap again. Gives to Helton up the middle. No, he doesn't. He fakes it, goes to the left-hand side, keeps it himself down close to the 5-yard line. It is tough to see all of that here, and we see a couple of flags fly a little late. The Lancers seem to be celebrating, and it was after the play, so that seems like it'll be a 15-yarder, possibly a unsportsmanlike of some sort, as the Lancers seem to be celebrating those yellow hankies in the air.
Yeah,
it is
good
a
to
personal
see.
foul, and it will be 15 yards.
I'm sure they said some very nice things to each other.
As high schoolers are wont to do in these passionate, emotional types of situations. We saw this actually a good amount in the Bulldogs' first game. There were, I think, 7, maybe even 8 personal fouls, some unsportsmanlike, some late hits. They seemed like they had gotten it under wraps. Some of them were kind of chintzy calls as they were quote-unquote celebrations, but many were very critical of the officiating in that one. It didn't matter. The Bulldogs went on to win that game against Nashua North, but somewhat strange to see anyway. It is a personal foul, and the Bulldogs do march backwards, so it looks like it'll be about 3rd and 15.
Yeah, big play for Londonderry here to keep them far away from points. So obviously big play here if they can stop them. Maybe even give them a chance to kick a long field goal or at least keep them out of the end zone.
Bulldogs need to get to the 3-yard line for first down yardage. Substitutions are made. We're just about ready to go, and the official winds the clock. So 3rd and 16. The ball's on the 19-yard line. Matthews in the gun. Takes the snap, hands it off to Helton. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for maybe a yard or two. And the Bulldogs will face 4th and long. They will keep their offense on the field. Maybe not. Maybe not. It looks like Elijah Todd will trot out, and we'll see a field goal attempt. This is only the Bulldogs' third field goal attempt on the year. As Elijah Todd missed his first two, they were back in that Thornton Academy game. The ball will be spotted on the 27-yard line, so a 37-yard field goal attempt. They'll move him up, actually 2 yards. They'll put it on the 25, so a 35-yard field goal attempt for Todd from the left hash. Snap is back, the hold is down, the kick is up. It looks good, it is left. You know it is not, it is good.
Yeah, it definitely
Huge
did look a little
kick.
left from here, but
Look.
was able to split out. It had plenty of distance.
Had the distance, if it goes over the upright, it counts. And that had to be pretty darn close to that left upright. The officials rule it good, and a 35-yard field goal for Elijah Todd puts the Bulldogs up 10-7 with 4:02 left here in the first half.
Yep, Bedford able to take it down and get some points on the board, seemingly right before half. So this will be a big series here for Londonderry to see what they want to go into half with.
Bulldogs facing a fourth and looked like about 13 yards to get down to first down yardage. Kicked themselves in the foot there with a personal foul. They had been very close to first down yardage. Would have been first and goal or close to it, and instead faced a long yardage situation. Couldn't make it up, and therefore they needed to settle for a field goal. Great job by Elijah Todd to put it through the uprights. His first field goal of the season. We've seen he's had the leg strength to hit from that distance and more, and he cashes in for the Bulldogs offense. So again, 4:02 left here in the first half. The Bulldogs ahead 10-7. A 12-yard touchdown run by Matthews, and then that 35-yard field goal by Todd. Adrian Cruz with the touchdown for the Lancers. Squib kick here is going to trickle out of bounds on the far sideline. So that will be penalized. The Lancers will start out in decent field position.
Yep, give them a little a start to this drive. But again, 4:02 left in the second quarter. Lancers are going to want to go in on a high note. So if they can go down here and get some points, either to tie it with a field goal or go ahead with a touchdown, that would be a big statement piece from them.
So not necessarily a 2-minute drill, but the Lancers offense will need to be efficient with their use of this clock. They start on their own 35 after that kickoff trickled out of bounds. They come to the line of scrimmage. Sully Darren will have a 3-receiver set, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. And we're going to get a substitution here. Perhaps one of the officials saw an equipment issue. And now Darren set to go. He's in the shotgun. Motion man right to left. They'll try the jet sweep. No, they won't. It was kept by Darren. He tried the middle of the line of scrimmage, and he gets stacked up and will lose maybe a yard or two. They mark him at the 34-yard line, 2nd and 11 for the Lancers.
Yeah, Darren had success in pulling that the last time and thought he would see that again, but Bedford was all over it.
So 1-yard loss on the play, 2nd and 11 for the Lancers. 3.5 to go here in the first half. 10-7 is your score. The Bulldogs lead. Sully Darren back into the huddle. Talks to his offensive teammates, calls out the play, and after a negative yardage play with that first play from scrimmage, we might see a more deliberate approach to this possession as we tick down close to 3 minutes. He takes the snap, looks down the right-hand side. They've got the post going, and it looks close to being picked off, but getting back in coverage was Connor Sturgis. They were looking for Rayo again. Jackson Rayo on the post move, had a little bit of room, but couldn't quite pull it down. That was actually Brock St. Gelais on the throw. He had substituted in for Sully Darren.
Yeah, ball just slightly underthrown. If it was put on target, Jackson Rayo may have walked into the end zone, but had about 3 or 4 yards, maybe 2 or 3 yards, but just slightly underthrown.
Good job by Sturgis to make up the room and bat it away. He actually looked like he was close to picking it off, but couldn't pull it down. Here's Darren trying to get to the right-hand side. Couldn't quite get to the edge, and now it's close to being picked off. It was possessed by Cody Byer, but he falls out of bounds. Great defensive play, but can't come up with the pick. And now with 4th and 11, the Lancers are going to be forced to punt, and those 2 incompletions will leave a decent amount of time on the clock for the Bulldogs. 2:50 to go here in the first half, and they will get the ball back, barring anything unusual like we saw with the muffed punt.
Yeah, they tried to get Sully out on the right, and Bedford was following, kept pushing him back and back and back, or at that point, more of a chance of a mistake, and sometimes it's better just to throw it out of bounds, but close to a pick there.
Couldn't quite see who it was. I think it was Brennan Krause that just kept that edge and kept forcing Darren back further and further and further. Punt on the way here from Bradley Higgins. A better one this time. The Bulldogs find it. Great bounce for Higgins as it goes down to the 30-yard line in Bedford territory. So the Bulldogs will have to march 70 yards and 240 if they want to cash in here as they look at just their 4th possession here of this first half. It has gone quickly, a lot of running plays, not a lot of timeouts. The Lancers sorting through some personnel issues here on the near sideline.
Yeah, with Londonderry's inability to move it, it really has given Bedford here a fair amount of time to go and add to their lead right before halftime.
4 receivers set for Matthews. He has Helton behind him. It's slot right, split left, a flex tight end out to the left-hand side. Matthews takes the snap, fakes to Helton, looks to the left-hand side. A deep out to Elsmore is complete. He gets out close to the 50-yard line, just shy. Good tackling there by the Lancers, but not until after a 17-yard gain to number 17. The Bulldogs 1st and 10 on their own 47, and the clock ticks with 2:25 and running. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Helton to the right. Matthews takes the snap, and he's going to not go down. He gets disrupted, and now he'll get swarmed under. Back at the 35-yard line. The Lancer defense comes up with a huge sack. Davis McGarian in on the tackle.
Yeah, Matthews almost had the ability to kind of get around the head edge after almost getting tackled, but a couple other Lancers coming back to help out were able to pull him down.
Looks to be about a 12-yard loss, so 2nd and 22, and the Bulldogs are forced to take a timeout here to preserve some clock. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first half. 10-7 is your score. The Bulldogs ahead by 3. Trying to get more points on the board before halftime, but they have a significant negative yardage play here on the sack of Matthews.
Yeah, Londonderry needs that to win this game. Keep them behind the chains and make them go more to that passing play, right? They have had 1 successful pass right here on this drive, so to keep it going, they're going to have a couple more of those, it looks like.
Coach Matthews will try to look to open up the playbook a little bit for quarterback Bennett Matthews. He does have some receivers on the outside. You saw Elsmore with that catch. Bryson Durso has had some big yardage plays as well, number 6. He has a couple of other targets that he uses less frequently in Connor Sturgis and Dylan Belair. We'll see the personnel that comes out here. And again, now we are in the 2-minute drill as we have 1:59 on the clock. 65 yards to go for pay dirt. The Bulldogs will try to get at least some points on the board. Matthews with an empty set takes the snap. Looks down the middle now to the left-hand side. Delivers down the left sideline. It's caught deep into Lancer territory. Looks like it's Helton down that left-hand side. close to the 10-yard line. A big play for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it was a nice strike. Hit the receiver right in stride.
Shoestring catch there. Great hands by Helton. He was all the way out on that left side, just ran a fly pattern, got behind his defensive back, and a huge yardage play puts the Bulldogs in good position to get more points on the board before half. Ball's on the 12-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. They have a 10-7 lead and look to go up by more. Again, an empty backfield here for Matthews. He spreads it out with 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Perhaps a quarterback draw here, we'll see. Snap is back, he looks and he does draw it. Goes right up the middle, breaks a tackle or two, stumbles down close to the goal line. He's still short, but very close to first down yardage near the 2-yard line. 105 and ticking in the first half. The Londonderry band lined up ready to get after their halftime show, but not before the Bulldogs try to get a little frisky here before halftime.
Yeah, I'm sure the band would like to start now, but it looked like Bedford had a few other ideas in mind.
Timeout is called by the Bulldogs. A few extra seconds did go off the clock, but there are 56 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Again, 10-7 is your score, but the Bulldogs knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line.
It seems like
look for them to run behind big number 71, Connor Flaherty.
Yeah, it looked like Londonderry had gotten Bedford where they wanted him in long distance position, but the great strike by the quarterback brought him all the way down into the red zone. So we'll see if they can finish it off.
2nd and 22, I think it yielded about a 60-yard play to Helton. I don't have the numbers right off my head, but 3 receivers set into the boundary here as the ball's on the left to Ash. Matthews has Helton to his left. They run the clock as they are trying to make sure the Lancers don't have much time left. Matthews hands it off to Helton. He goes to the left-hand side, looks to be in. He is in. Touchdown, Brody Helton, 2-yard run. And the Bulldogs go up 16-7 with the extra point to follow.
So the scores now, the Bulldogs 16, the Lancers 7.
And I was thinking, as the Lancers had 4 minutes left or so on that clock, that they were going to be efficient with their time. Those 2 incomplete passes left a lot of time for the Bulldogs, and they take advantage here just before halftime. Elijah Todd lines up, takes his steps, ready for the extra point. Snap is back, the hold is down, the kick is up. It looks good, it is good. 17-7 is your score after a 2-yard touchdown plunge by Helton. Helton really honestly set up that score on that 60-plus yard reception on the 2nd and 22, and now with 31 seconds left in this first half, the Lancers will see if they can make some magic happen in those 31 seconds.
Yeah, it's been a pretty tight game outside of maybe like 1 or 2 plays from both sides, but Bedford's now sitting there at a 10-point lead just going into halftime. But I think it's been well played. I think on both sides. Take out maybe 2, maybe 3 plays.
Todd lining up on the 40-yard line. We'll kick it deep. Back to receive Kalen Murphy and Jackson Rayo. It's been great to see what Rayo has been able to do. Again, we emphasized this early in the game, but Rayo, just a freshman, a huge 6-yard run early on, and then a big 35-yard catch to set up that first touchdown for the Lancers. That was capped off by a 15-yard touchdown run by Adrian Cruz. Todd will kick it off. He'll squib it up the middle. A bouncing ball is caught at the 33-yard line and immediately downed. That was Tyler Costarelli making the sure-handed play. It only takes 1 second off the clock.
First down and 10 Lancers.
The Costarellis are quite obviously close to us here in the booth as we heard a nice cheer for him. And the Lancers have 30 seconds to see what they can do. They trail by 10, 17-7 is your score. They're on their own 33-yard line just before halftime here.
Yeah, I could easily see one of those over-the-line screens just to try and pick up, 10 to 15 before they try a long shot.
Empty backfield here for Sully Darren. He takes the snap, looks to the right-hand side, delivers to the flat. He's got his receiver. It's complete out to Owen Crafts, wrapped up quickly after the catch.
10, Owen Crafts.
A 4-ish yard play. They'll give him 5, maybe 4. 2nd and 6, and the clock runs. 10 seconds to go. We'll see if they snap it one more time. But they may be content to go into halftime trailing by just 10, and that is what will happen.
Ladies and gentlemen,
all zeros on the board. We'll go into halftime. Again, the Bulldogs ahead 17-7 as you join us here on Bedford Community TV and Londonderry TV, as well as WBNH. We'll take a break for halftime. The bands will come out and do some performances. The world-renowned Londonderry Marching Band will perform, and we will join you in the second half for second half action here from Londonderry High School. We'll see you on the other side.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bedford High School Marching Band and Color Guard is proud to present their 2025 halftime show, The World Turned Upside Down. Akirav, Fedora Brown, and Isla Myers. The drumline captain is Elena Dunlap, and the color guard captain is Avery Potter. The band would like to thank their sponsor, the Lighting Showroom, for providing lighting for their halftime show this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give a warm Lancer welcome to the Bedford High School Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for the Bedford High School Marching Band and Color Guard. And now, folks, about to take the field for the second part of halftime is your Londonderry High School Dancer Marching Band and Color Guard. This year's show is Go West. The first part of the show features the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the Magnificent Seven. Part 2 includes These Boots Are Made for Walking, and the third part of the show features Wanted, Dead or Alive, and Part 4 is Carry On Wayward Son. The band is led onto the field by senior drum majors Gretchen Murray and Faith Nolan, and junior drum major Blake Gustitis. Drum captains for the 25-26 season are Jacob 70 and Keegan Wolverton. And the color guard captains are Sophia Douglas and Simone Miller. The band is directed by Serge Bullio and Devin DiBernardo. Lancer Band seniors, we want to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to each one of you. Thank you for your dedication, passion, and the countless hours of practice, laughter, and hard work you have all invested. You've made the journey unforgettable, and we will cherish every note we played together. Tonight's senior band members include Kaylee Anderson, Talia Batherwich, Caitlin Blomgren, Olivia Brooks, Aiden Kaluzian, Donovan Chalinsky, Emma Danforth, Gavin Dowdy, Sophia Douglas, Gabe Digg, Ben Edwards, Will Ertman, Chloe Frazier, Parker Gerard, Molly Ann Goodchild, Melissa Holt, Jaya Kelly, Lindsay Lavoisier, Simone Miller, Gretchen Murray, Matthew Musson, Dylan Nadeau, Jamie Neese, Andrew Nicholas, Aaliyah Nicholson, Faith Nolan, Megan Peterson, Lorena Resendez, Gavin Reinkirk, Ethan Serenich, Emma Saucier, Jason Schmidt, Blake Secor, Jacob 70, Drew Ann Sherman, Ben Simpson, Madison St. Gelay, Madeline Sullivan, Christopher Cipher, Sophia Tapia, Kyra Thomas, and Keegan Wolverton. Thank you to all of our seniors. Best of luck in your future endeavors. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time at home this season, would you please welcome once again your Londonderry Lancer High School Marching Band and Color Guard. and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your Londonderry Lancer High School Marching Band and the Color Guard.
Got number 22 on the left over there walking in. He's another one of our starting linebackers, but he's been hurt for the past month or so.
Welcome back to Londonderry High School here in Londonderry, New Hampshire, where the visiting Bedford Bulldogs lead at halftime 17-7 over the Londonderry Lancers. My name is Corey Munster-Tiger, joined in the booth by Chris Van Pischel. Chris, we saw some fireworks early. The two teams started to kind of even out there, and then a little bit of scoring late in the half put the Bulldogs up by 10 at halftime. Thoughts from that first half?
Yeah, I think it was a pretty tight game outside of a couple turnovers that benefited the Lancers. Unfortunately, they weren't able to capitalize on it, but a pretty tight game on both sides. Really, the long strike from Bennett right before halftime to get down and into the red zone is really probably the big difference in this game.
Yeah, Bennett Matthews hitting Brody Helton in stride for a 60-plus yard completion, put them in great position to score another touchdown just before halftime. That was a 2-yard touchdown run by Helton. The first score of the game came from Bennett Matthews on a 12-yard touchdown run in their first possession. That was answered quickly. A 67-yard drive by the Lancers ended with a 15-yard touchdown run by Adrian Cruz. That was set up nicely by the freshman. He's been getting a lot of run tonight. Jackson Rayo has had a big play here and there. That was one of them. The scoring continued with an Elijah Todd 35-yard field goal to put the Bulldogs up 10-7. And then the Bulldogs, with some time on the clock left before halftime, were able to take advantage. They marched down 70 yards, ending with a 2-yard touchdown run by Helton. Halftime score 17-7. As we said, we're just about ready to start this third quarter. Thunderstruck playing in the background, one of my favorites, Chris, always on my Psych Up mix. I don't know about you.
No doubt about it. I don't know who sets the music here or set that up for the teams, but they clearly have some good 80s and 90s rock in their backdrop.
Love it. We love to see it. We love to hear it, especially here on senior night. We need to make sure that these youngsters have an appreciation of good music, and this, to me, illustrates a little bit of taste. I love it.
Yeah, if we could add a little Enter Sandman from Metallica.
There we go. Now we're
that
talking.
Might take it over the top.
Now we're talking. 12 minutes back on the board. Ball about to be teed up on the 40-yard line. The Bulldogs kicking off from left to right, again in their white jerseys, black pants, black numbering. The Lancers in their home blue uniforms, white pants. We just heard over the loudspeaker that Pinkerton is losing this evening in other Division I football action. They're down 21-17 to Memorial High School. That's a big one there. We'll have to monitor that score throughout this second half. Elijah Todd with a squib kick off of one of the Lancers players and still loose down near the 25-yard line. We'll see who pounced on that one. As it was rolling around, glanced off a Lancer player, still went backwards. It looks like the Lancers were able to cover it, but not without some nervous moments there for Coach Lozon as he starts this second half. The Lancers do jump on it. They will start their first drive of this second half on their own 23-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like they lost a solid 10-plus yards just on the mishandled kickoff.
Sully Darren trots back to that huddle. Some of the players jumping around. We see that the temperatures are plummeting here in New Hampshire. Expected to be lows in the mid to high 30s this evening, likely in the 40s right now. Jet sweep fake. Darren keeps it himself, takes it up the middle. He's out past the 30-yard line, close to first down yardage. Again, nice job on the option and the keep for Sully Darren. He's got, we'll call it 9 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 1 on the Lancer 32-yard line.
Yeah, important for Londonderry to get some yards on this, and in obviously best case scenario, they can get some points to start to bring this a little closer.
Darren, empty backfield, 2 receivers to the left in a slot formation, 3 out to the right. Takes the snap, he looks left, now back to the right, pump fake, he gets man over the middle, it's complete into Bedford territory. It's the big Davis Megarian down to the 42-yard line. Well, they will stop his forward progress, but a big play here early in the second half for the Lancers.
They had a few people trying to get him down. They still weren't able to do so, but referees, with the pause in forward progress, called the play dead.
We've talked about Connor Flaherty being a big boy. Davis Megarian also a big boy, 6'4", 245 on the roster. The junior with a huge play there to get inside Bedford territory on this first possession of the second half. 17-7 is your score. The Bulldogs lead, but the Lancers trying to get more points on the board here early in this third quarter. 4 receiver set, 3 bunch to the right. He'll give it to Cruz. He's out after the left end, tries to get the edge and does. He's out of bounds near the Bedford Bulldogs 28-yard line. Great run there by Adrian Cruz.
Yeah, Londonderry trying a little trickery, getting everything going to the right and then have it roll back to the left, and was able to find some open green grass and beat the end over to the edge.
Little misdirection up front. Big block there by big Josh Cody. He was able to get the edge and help Cruz get outside wide around the left side. 1st and 10 for the Lancers on the 28-yard line. 3 receivers set again for Sully Darren. Cruz behind him in the gun. Takes the handoff, hit immediately in the backfield. Slicing in quickly was Alex Bissonette. And they'll take a 1-yard loss on the play. 2nd and 11 now for the Lancers.
Yeah, tried to get him with the quick handoff that time, but right into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
Cody Byer in on the stop as well as he came up strong from his linebacker position. Early going third quarter, the Bulldogs lead the Lancers 17-7. But the Lancers on this first possession come up with a huge reception by Davis Megarian. Into Bedford territory, they face a 2nd and 11 here from the 29-yard line. They fake the jet sweep. Darren keeps it himself up the middle again. They've seen some good positive yardage plays there as Sully Darren, good ball work there, faking the handoff frequently on the jet sweep, keeping it himself as the linebackers empty out the middle of that field. 3rd and 3 left. Need to get down to the 18-yard line for first down. Probably 4 down territory here for Coach Lozon. Empty backfield here for Sully Darren. They'll shift over to the left as Adrian Cruz is now to the left side of the formation. The Bulldogs show blitz, and they come. And they fake the handoff to Cruz. And Darren has some room around the left-hand side. He's got a first down close to the 10-yard line and inside. They will have a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Helton had cut through on the blitz and was ready to blow up the play, but Sully Darren made the right choice, pulled it down himself and ran around the left end. for a first down. 1st and goal from the 10 for the Lancers in the first possession of the second half. They trail by 10, but looking to close the gap.
Yeah, Daron came around the left side and really had a lot of green grass in front of him with some blockers and able to get it down right into the 10. So now it's important for them to find a way to get the ball into the end zone to bring this game a little closer.
Come on, man. You just said Daron. Is it Daron? I've been calling him Darren the whole first half.
It's Daron.
Is it Daron? You're killing me.
No, it's only Darren.
Okay, all right. Phew. All right. Negative yardage there as Cruz took the handoff, 2-yard loss on the play. 2nd and goal from the 12. Cody Byer on the stop there as he was able to wrap up Cruz quickly after he got the ball from Sully Darren. We tick inside 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. The Lancers break the huddle, looking for ways to hit pay dirt here. Here, I'm not sure how their place-kicking game is. They are on the 12-yard line. I'm not sure they would consider this 4-down territory, but considering a 10-point lead here, they see, McGarrion over the middle. The pass was behind him, incomplete. McGarrion got his left hand on it as he was right at the goal line, but unfortunately his momentum was carrying him forward. The pass was behind him, and he couldn't pull it down. It's incomplete.
Yeah, Sully had him open, just as you said. If it just a little bit behind him and to the left, had him turning all the way around, but he was sitting all by himself right in the end zone.
He is a big target out there. Where's 87? Shades of Gronk. I like it. Couldn't quite pull it down there. 3 receivers to the left, 1 split out to the right for Darren. He'll take the snap, roll to his left, look back to the right, pitches it way out, looking for the receiver in the end zone is Rayo. Covered nicely on the play, Connor Sturgis. It is incomplete, and it looks like the Lancers will go for the field goal here. Owen Monahan will come on for the place-kicking duties.
Yeah, Owen Monahan, also a soccer player, plays on the JV team here at Londonderry. But is able to get the ball high with a fairly good distance, so we'll see if he can make it from here.
The ball is on the 11-yard line. It should be spotted at about the 18, 19-yard line. Usually a 7-yard snap here will be a 29-yard field goal attempt for Owen Monahan. The snap is back. The kick is up. It looks good. It is good. And Monahan cuts the lead to 7 on the 29-yard field goal for the Lancers.
Yeah, that was an important drive for the Lancers to go down and start to make a bit of a statement here at the beginning of this second half and start to bring this game a little closer. So 7-point game at this point.
(17-10) your score now. 7:16 to go in the third quarter. The Lancers march 77 yards. They get the field goal. So maybe not all 77 yards, but at least they put points on the board. And they now trail just by a touchdown.
Yeah, that last play right before the field goal attempt was a little interesting because Jackson Rayo, while a speedster, not one of the taller ones out there, so going for more of a jump ball is not going to be in his bag. But I think he turned more into a defensive player at that point just to try to keep from it being picked off.
Connor Sturgis on the coverage there, had inside position, did well to fend it off. And as you say, Rayo likely acting as a good defender there. The kickoff taken by Durso. Outside the 25, dances through some tacklers, close to the 40-yard line, where the Bulldogs will have their first possession here of the second half. Holding on to his block a little longer than normal is Braden Calkins. Close to that whistle, but no flag is thrown. The Londonderry Lancer faithful not very happy about that. Thought that the play went on a little longer than necessary.
Lancer Nation, the Lancer players, the Lancer coaching staff, all with arms up. But regardless, no yellow. Bedford will start off at their own 39.
First possession of the second half for the Bulldogs. First and 10, their own 39. They lead 17-10. 7:09 to go in the third quarter. Matthews has a 4-receiver set, 3 of them to the left, 1 to the right. Helton to his left in the backfield. He'll hand it off to Helton. Takes it up the left side, over the left guard, ahead for about 4 yards. Call it 2nd and 6.
On the run was number 21.
Yeah, Bedford in the first half able to connect on some of those long balls, really kind of make the Lancer defense get a little bit back on their heels and kind of soften up that line. So that should pay it well for them here starting at the beginning of the second half.
Some combination of dropbacks and play actions, and especially on that long bomb to Helton along the left side, they went empty backfield in that situation. Not so here, as Matthews will keep it himself, takes it off the left-hand side and has some room. A tackler held on to his ankle, and lucky enough, as that was Adrian Cruz preventing Matthews from breaking one off and taking it to the house. Still a huge run from Matthews, gets it down inside Lancer territory to the 42-yard line. First and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, some nice subtle shifts from Matthews on those just to not take a full hit and able to kind of slide around him.
That elusiveness that I have seen all season, you're now seeing, and you can see why he's such an effective runner. Matthews, 3 receivers out to the left, tight right, quick pitch out to Durso in that left flat. The Lancers cover it nicely. Although Durso does not go down, he's able to get ahead for 2, maybe 3 yards. It looked like he was wrapped up, but he shed 2, maybe 3 tackles, and the eventual defensive pursuit finally wraps him up inside the 40 at the 39. 5.5 and counting here in the third quarter. The Bulldogs ahead 17-10. They'll face a 2nd and 7 from the Lancer 39.
Yeah, it looked like Bedford had that blocked well to begin with, but I think they were able to shed some of those blockers and get in there, but it still took 2 or 3 or 4 Lancers just to bring him down.
Matthews sends his man Beskar in motion left to right. He resets. Toss sweep to Helton to the right-hand side. Beskar gets a good block on the edge. Matthews takes a hit down low at his thigh level. Good tackle there by number 25. That was Thomas Zaira.
Tackle by number 25, Tommy Zaira. Brings up 3rd down and 3.
3rd and 3. Maybe a short 3, long 2. Bulldogs need to get down to about the 30-yard line, maybe the 31. Tough to tell as the lines are faint on that far sideline. 4.5 and ticking. Likely 4-down territory here for the Bulldogs. Matthews takes the snap, hands to Helton. He goes to the left-hand side. Ooh, takes a big hit. Kind of low, and he crumpled. And he is slow to get up, as that was a tough hit there. Coming up from that defensive back position was number 1, Javion Teeter. And Helton is back on his feet. But that did not look comfy there.
No, he came up strong and was able to seal that edge, and he didn't have anywhere to go, and he just lowered his head and kind of hit him right around that thigh, that lower thigh area, and took him down pretty quick.
Seems to be walking okay. He's going to shake that one off. It was a 1st down run as he got close to the 30, just outside of it. Enough for a 1st down. Usually we've seen Helton either lower the shoulder or maybe give a little shimmy shake. Didn't do either and took a tough hit from Javion Teeter. He walks to the sideline. He'll take a minute to gather his senses as we see Winston Hune take the ball fake as Matthews looks down the field, has his man Elsmore. It's complete touchdown. Bulldogs, a 30-yard touchdown strike to Elsmore on the post pattern. And the Bulldogs answer on their first offensive possession with the extra point to come.
Score is now the Bulldogs 23, the Lancers 10.
Yeah, another long strike by Matthews there, but it was right on target, and decent coverage by Javion Teeter, but just over his head and into the hands of the Bedford Bulldog.
So the Lancers and the Bulldogs trade touchdowns here early in this third quarter. Early has turned late. It got late early. Is that a Yogi Berraism? I'm sure it is. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. It looks good. It is good. And the Bulldogs go up by 2 touchdowns, 24-10 with 3:41 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, it would have been great if they traded touchdowns, but it was a field goal and a touchdown. But
Fair
I'll
enough.
take it. Yeah,
Fair
I'll take
enough.
it.
They trade scores.
There you go.
They trade scores, not touchdowns. Fair enough. I stand corrected.
No correction needed. All right.
So that 61-yard drive capped by a 31-yard touchdown catch by Landon Elsmore. He has been a huge add to this offense. Big athlete on the outside, contributes significantly to the Bedford Bulldog basketball team. Missed the first couple of games this season, but has added a phenomenal dynamic and another weapon for Coach Matthews in this offense since he has arrived. You can see it there. Sure-handed catch, great route to get to the inside, and a dime from Bennett Matthews. And the Bulldogs go up by 2 touchdowns. Elijah Todd takes his steps back, has the coverage team ready to go. Back to receive for the Lancers, Callan Murphy and Jackson Rayo. They kick it towards Rayo. He gathers it in close to the 20-yard line, brings it back to the middle. He's wrapped up outside the 35-yard line and falls forward to the 37. The Lancers will take over on their own 37. See what they can do to answer that touchdown drive by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they had a solid opening to the drive, a big pass to Davis Megarian, and then Bedford held strong once they got into the red zone, forced them into a field goal. So they'll be looking to add some points here and try to keep up with Bedford after that scoring touchdown.
Number 37 takes it to the 37. Sully Darren will take over from there. 4 receivers set. Adrian Cruz behind Darren in the backfield. Takes the snap, looks to the right, dumps it in the middle. That's Adrian Cruz. He's got a short middle screen there. He's out to the 40-yard line. 3-yard gain for Cruz, 2nd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, Cruz took it up inside. If he bounced it out, there was a lot of open pasture in front of him, but able to get a couple yards, at least start this drive.
It definitely looked like if he brought it to the near side, a little bit more room to the wide side of the field. Tough to second guess him. He's in the moment. He's in the heat. He was probably trying to pick up some blocks from his big O lineman up front. Still makes a 3-yard gain. Man, they're only giving him 2 yards on the scoreboard. Come on, man. Be generous to these kids.
They're working hard.
4 receivers to the left. Empty backfield as 1 is split to the right. Sully Darren takes the snap. He's going to roll to his left. Feels pressure right away. Helton was there. Now he makes a complete pass out to the near side. Davis Megarian on the catch. He's ahead for 2, maybe 3 yards. And the Lancers here with a big 3rd down play with 2.5 to go in this 3rd quarter. They need 5 for 1st down yardage.
Yeah, Bedford blew that play up right away as he was trying to roll out to his left. They had someone sitting there waiting for him. And nice move just to get away from that tackle and avoid a sack, and able to find Davis Megarian for at least a handful of yards.
Brody Helton came through on the blitz and was in Darren's face right away, disrupting that play from the start. So 3rd and 5. Motion man is Megarian out to the right-hand side. Darren takes the snap, looks to the middle, now to the right, delivers it over the middle, too high. Incomplete. Man at the 40-yard line in Bedford territory was Owen Crafts. He got a hand on it, but just a bit too high. It'll be 4th and 5. Coach Lozon sends in the punt unit as Bradley Higgins will be 16 deep and ready to punt it away. I would not be surprised, as crafty as Coach Lozon is, to see a fake here. 4th and 4, 4th and 5.
He has done that a couple times this season, and usually that's sparked a touchdown run. So he tends to pull it out every now and then, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it either.
1:43 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Bulldogs ahead 24-10. They're set to get the ball back. Snap is back. The kick is out and away as Higgins gets a good one. And choosing to not catch it was Helton, and that gave up another 12 or 15 yards as it bounced all the way inside the 15. They down it at the 12-yard line, and that's a marvelous punt there by Higgins.
Yeah, it sets Bedford up deep in their own zone. Londonderry is going to be looking to try to stop that run game, but more importantly, stop the passing game that has really kind of been their Achilles heel tonight.
They mark it at the 13-yard line. Bennett Matthews brings the play as he trots over a long run from that far sideline down into Bedford's own territory on the 12, 13-yard line. They come out with a 4-receiver set, 3 bunched to the left of the line of scrimmage, 1 set out to the right. Helton behind Matthews. Takes the snap, gives it to Helton off the left-hand side. There we see the shoulder lowered and bowling over defenders. He's out past the 20, close to first down yardage, and the near side linesman signals a first down.
Solid blocking by the Bedford offensive line, as I don't think he was touched once he lowered that head. He was 7 yards deep.
7 yards turned into 10 as he fell forward. The clock runs at 1.5 minutes left in the third quarter. I can imagine the Bulldogs might take a long ball possession kind of approach to this possession here late in the third quarter. Keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock running. 4-receiver set for Matthews. 2 right, 2 left. Helton stacked in behind him. They fake the handoff, play action, deep over the middle. He's got Elsmore, but it's too far. Incomplete. Elsmore had 2 steps on the deepest defensive back. Matthews, beautiful spiral, but it was just 3 yards too long as Elsmore was trying for the deep post pattern.
Yeah, they were going for the dagger there and almost hit it. He, like you said, solid 2 or 3 steps behind the defensive back, and if he'd caught that, he would have been off to the races with no one in front of him.
Yeah, so much for that ball possession type offense and approach, as I was just saying.
Right, bleed the clock. Instead, they air it out.
2nd and 10 now for the Bulldogs. Elsmore takes a seat after that sprint down the field. 2 backs in the backfield, halfback up to the left-hand side. They hand to Helton. He'll take it off the right guard, out past the 25. He'll get it to the 26. As the Bulldogs will see a 3rd and 7.
On the run was number 21, Birdie Helton.
40 seconds and ticking in this third quarter. 24-10 is your score. The Bulldogs ahead by 2 touchdowns.
3rd down and 7.
Somewhat back and forth affair in that first half. The Bulldogs took a 10-point lead into half. The Lancers with an impressive drive ending in a field goal on their first possession of this first half brought it to within 7, but the Bulldogs came back right away. A 31-yard touchdown strike to Elsmore. Matthews, little swing pass now for Helton. He's got some room on that left side. Avoids the first tackler, runs over the second, and he's got a first down. Out to the 34-yard line and a first down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, good play call on that one. Able to swing it out. Really only had 2 people to beat. Was able to bypass the first one, but the second one was able to bring him down by his legs.
That second one being Lucas Palma on the tackle.
Yeah, Lucas Palma, big player on the defense. One of the emotional leaders as well.
Third quarter runs out. Time is 0-0-0. We'll get 12 minutes back on the board, and the Bulldogs will sustain this drive, or at least try to sustain this drive from their own 34-yard line, We do want to take a moment here for the BCTV crew and WBNH to thank our underwriters for supporting our live sports coverage. Primary Bank, the Wicks Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, and Great New Hampshire Restaurants, T-Bones, and the Copper Door. They've been a great support throughout the season, and we really appreciate it here for all of our coverage on BCTV and WBNH. It's great to broadcast this evening on Londonderry TV as well. Chris, going into this fourth quarter, what is Coach Lozan going to try to do other than, of course, score at least 14 points? Any tricks up his sleeve, reverses, flea flickers, double reverses, what kinds of Philly special, I hate to say that word in New England, but what kinds of things might you see from Coach Lozon when they get the ball back?
I think you're going to see a bit of the same. They try to soften up that middle and then take the deep shot. And, they've had a couple of chances to hit those, and they've just missed. They've caught a few of them, but just missed on a couple others. And I think you're going to see a lot of the same. Not a lot of trickery on there. They'll try and shift and have everything go to the right and bring it back to the left. But you see a lot of the same, I think.
The Bulldogs likely to rely on heavy doses of Helton and Matthews. And they're going to prove me wrong here, of course, as Durso takes the handoff, goes to the right-hand side. No gain on the play for Durso. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Bulldogs at the start of this fourth quarter.
On the run was number 6,
Yeah, Bedford definitely has the team guessing, even us guessing, because as soon as we think they're going to settle in and really start to drain that clock, they've uncorked a couple bombs down the field.
They run it to the right here. Ball's on the right hash now for Matthews. He has a 3-receiver set, 2 backs in the backfield. Helton is behind him. Durso just to his left. He's in the gun 5 yards deep. Takes the snap, fakes to Helton. He drops the ball. He was able to jump on it right away. He was looking for Durso in the left flat here, and it just looked like it slipped right out of his hands and fell to the turf. He was able to pounce on it quickly, but it's a big loss for the Bulldogs, and they have 3rd and long.
Yeah, the pressure with McGarry in there caused him to try and grab the ball a little quick and get it over his head. And in grabbing that, he just dropped it. And lucky for him, he was able to keep the ball and dive on it. So almost a good play, but regardless, a good play by the Londonderry defense, even though they weren't able to come away with the takeaway.
McGarrian with that 6'4" frame running full tilt at Matthews. He might have had a tough time getting that ball up and over his outstretched hands too. So tough play there. 3rd and 15 for the Bulldogs. Matthews takes the snap, looks to the left-hand side. Now looks back to the middle, slips. Now he's going to scramble to the left-hand side. Looks to make some tacklers miss. He does. Gets out past the 35-yard line, but still well short of the first down. It will be 4th and 7, maybe 8.
Yeah, I think he ran about 30 yards just to get 7, but big 4th down here for the Lancers.
We tick inside 10 minutes. They're on their own 36-yard line. The offense seems to be staying on the field here. Perhaps we see a similar kind of play as we've seen from the Lancers with a quick kick, but they seem to be in an aggressive formation. 4-receiver set. Now Matthews takes a step back, and he's going to fumble the ball quickly, but picks it up and quick kicks it. Doesn't quite get the distance that they wanted, but they do change the field position somewhat. It trickles out of bounds at the Lancers' 42-yard line. So the Bulldogs punt it away. The Lancers will take over on their own 42 with 9:26 left to go in this game. They trail by 2 touchdowns, 24-10.
Yeah, they've had some success moving it in this second half, but this is going to be an important drive here with the clock ticking down, just over 9 minutes left. So good field position to start this one, so it would be an important one to get down there on this drive, starting with such good field position.
We've seen a couple of long strikes by Sully Darren here throughout the game, Jackson Rayo being one of them. They'll hand it off. Adrian Cruz takes it to the right-hand side, gets the edge. He's inside Bedford territory and forced out close to the 45. Good gainer there of 13 yards for the Lancers on first down. They move it right away. They mark him out at the 46. So a good start to this drive as Cruz is able to work around that right end. 1st and 10. Sully Darren back to the line of scrimmage. Empty backfield for him. 3 receivers out to the left, 2 to the right. Motion man is Rayo from right to left. They hand it to them, looking for the jet sweep, and right there is Brody Helton and blows it up for a big loss. forward progress was to the Londonderry 49-yard line, but they'll call it a 5-yard loss, 2nd and 15 upcoming.
Yeah, the end stayed on his ground and kept him. He's going to have to go a long way around just to get around him, but able to drop him back for a 5-yard loss.
That's Brody Helton coming up from that linebacker position. Likely a blitz on that play. I didn't see the replay, but
yeah,
he was quickly into the backfield and nice anticipation. We've seen Darren pull that down on a quarterback option a few times earlier in this game. Gave it to Rayo there, and we saw a 5-yard loss. So Darren hands it off to Cruz this time. Tries the left-hand side and closing in quickly. Helton again and getting support from Bennett Matthews coming up from his safety position. Another couple-yard loss, and it's 3rd and long for this Lancer offense. Call it 3rd and 18 as another 3-yard loss for Londonderry.
Yeah, another time where the defensive end was staying home and just didn't give him a chance to get around the edge, but well played by the Bulldog defense.
Darren takes it back to the huddle. Talks up the offense. And they approach the line of scrimmage. Tight left, 2 receivers over to that left-hand side. The ball's on the left hash. They fake it to Cruz. Play action. Deep pass down the right-hand side. Looking for Rayo. Incomplete, but we see a flag thrown. Likely pass interference. Deep in coverage was Landon Elsmore. It looked like Rayo was unable to get his left hand loose.
Yeah, he tried to pull it down with his right because his left hand was being held, but this will set them up at least well to try and keep this drive moving.
That would have been a spectacular catch by Jackson Rayo as he put that right hand out, tried to pull it down. It was incomplete, but it will be pass interference on the Bulldogs.
The initial call is pass interference against the Bulldogs.
15-yard penalty. I don't think it's an automatic first down, so they'll still be short of first down yardage. It was 3rd and 18 on Londonderry's own 47. Officials talk it over. Indication is pass interference on the defense. So it still is 3rd down. They get 15 yards. But because of those 2 big negative yardage plays, it'll be 3rd and 3. Ball marked on the Bedford 38-yard line. The Lancers need to get to the 35.
3rd down and 3.
This makes it a much more manageable option here.
Empty backfield for Lancers. They hand it to Cruz. Jet sweep to the left-hand side. He falls forward for first down yardage inside the 35. And they move the chains. Sully Darren timing up the snap. Handed it quickly to Adrian Cruz as he passed in front. Tried to get the edge, was hit pretty quickly, but again was able to fall forward for the 3 or 4 yard gain. First down on the Bedford 34. The Bulldogs ahead 24-10, but the Lancers here driving. 7 minutes left in this game. They try to come within 1 score. Sully Darren takes the snap, looks to the right-hand side, now looks over the middle, delivered, complete. Davis Megarian, big number 87 with the completion. He has first down yardage again inside the 25. They mark him down at the 23. Clock continues to tick.
Yeah, another big catch by Davis. They like to sneak him down right along those seams, right down the middle. And they see it on the left side and previously on the right, now on the left.
Megarian again, that big target, sure hands. Presents a good option for Darren over the middle. Not afraid to take those hits with that size. Empty backfield here for Sully Darren. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. The Bulldogs show pressure and they come hard, taking a hit but delivering a complete pass down close to the 5-yard line, 10-yard line. They'll get a first down. possibly a 1st and 10 if they mark it just outside the 10. That was big number 82 on the catch, Jaden Nkala. First time we've called his number this evening, the 6-foot senior with a big catch here for the Lancers. Inside 6 minutes to go. The Lancers trail by 2 touchdowns, but they're deep in the red zone now. And they go empty backfield again for Sully Darren. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Man in motion left to right, Cruz. They'll run the option to the right. Cruz fumbles the ball, and it's back at the 15-yard line. He covers it before Cody Byer can get there. So negative yardage play there. It'll be 2nd and 14.
Yeah, Sully kind of waited right until the very last second to try and dish that off and had it just behind Adrian Cruz's back left arm. So wasn't able to pull that down, but was able to dive on it to at least keep possession.
Tough one there as Cruz had to contort his body, and he was lucky that he was able to stop his momentum and jump on that loose ball. 4 receivers set now for Sully. Takes the snap, looks to the left-hand side, now back to the right, delivers it deep in the end zone and out of the end zone as Darren throws it deep and incomplete. 3rd and 13 on the Bedford Bulldog 14-yard line. They do, it is worth noting, still have room to get a 1st down. It looks like it's even inside the 1-yard line, but those sticks are close to the goal line, so still possible.
Still possible, but definitely within 4-down territory here, especially with the clock now in the 4-minute mark area.
4:51 to be exact. The Lancers trail by 2 scores, 24-14. Sully Darren brings the Lancer offense back. 4 receivers set, 2 slot right. He'll fake the handoff to Cruz, deliver, looking for the slant pattern. It's incomplete. Owen Crafts, the intended receiver, close to the goal line, and it'll be 4th and 13 on the 14.
4th down and 13.
Well, certainly an important play here for the Lancers, but Lancers moved it down into the red zone fairly quickly on this drive, but since then, Bedford has kept them from moving too far. So good play by the Bulldog defense.
24-10 is your score. 4:46 left in the game. The Lancers facing a 4th and 13 from the Bedford 14. Again, they can get a 1st down. It'll be tough. Sully Darren takes the snap with an empty backfield. Looks left, now delivers over the middle. It's picked off. Landon Elsmore makes the interception close to the goal line. He's got a lot of room. He's out to the 40, cuts it back at the 50. He's going to take it to the house. Unless somebody can speed up, they can't. 10-5, touchdown. Landon Elsmore. About 100 yards on the return, and what a play from the senior wide receiver and defensive back. Had the speed to take it to the house. One man to beat out close to that 40-yard line was big number 77, Jaden Malatini. He couldn't tackle him, and wow, what a play.
Yeah, a big difference there, a big game-changing play. Well done by him, making good plays both on the offensive side and here now on the defensive side to really kind of break this game open.
The pick 6 by Landon Elsmore puts the Bulldogs up 30-10, extra point on the way. Snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. It looked to the left. It was to the left, so no good. The Bulldogs will stay at 30-10 with 4:26 left here in this game. Huge score to report here from around Division I football. Manchester Memorial upsets Pinkerton. 28-25 was the final. From news around New Hampshire D1 football, that's a big one. Likely highly unexpected, but a great result for Memorial. Fireworks here as Elsmore comes up with the pick 6. On that replay, did you see where he got that ball? Was it right at the goal line? Can we give him a 100-yard return?
I think if it's not, it's pretty close to it. So it was right in there. Slowly trying to fit it in at the last minute. Obviously, fourth down, having to find a way to make a play there. Unfortunately for the Lancers, went the wrong way for a 100-yard touchdown.
As you say, he's trying to make a play, right? They're down 2 scores. They know that that was a critical possession, and they certainly needed to make something happen. A couple of receivers seemed to be open on that left side, but he was trying to squeeze it in tight and too tight as Elsmore read it well, stepped into the lane, and he was perfectly in stride as he started that return. 4:26 left here in the game. The Bulldogs just scoring on that fantastic play by Elsmore. Elijah Todd with the kickoff. It's covered at the 30-yard line for the Lancers. They will have another possession.
And this seems very similar as Londonderry games over the past. The scores show something similar to here, but just like this one, they were into to the last couple minutes where the game finally broke open. But the Lancers will be looking here to go down and score some pride points here in the last 4.5 minutes.
Pride points for sure. The 20-point gap would require 3 scores to make up. Highly unlikely, though not impossible, with 4 minutes and 25 seconds remaining.
So you're saying there's some hope?
I'm saying there's a chance. I've seen Dumb and Dumber. Jet sweep here to the left-hand side. Javion Teeter gets some room, gets it out past the 45. Good run there by the senior. They'll mark him at the 45. First down for the Lancers. Although we have a flag late there, the flag sits on the 46-yard line. Let's see what the call is here. I didn't see anything after, but dead ball personal foul on the defense, so another 15 tacked on to the end of that.
Personal foul on sportsmanlike conduct called against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, there must have been something, I think, after the play, because it didn't seem like there was anything throughout that play, or I didn't see the yellow flag during the play. So could have been some words said.
So a big one there as the Lancers started back on their own 30, and quickly they're on the Bedford 40. 30-yard difference there, 15-yard gain, 15-yard penalty, and now Brock St. Gelais at quarterback. And we're going to get some movement up front. Not quite sure what happened there. Some goofing around on the defensive line as Matty Ben was pretending to take the snap. We do have a penalty. Not quite sure if it was procedure on the offense, but the officials look like they're going to march the Lancer offense back 5 yards.
Yeah, something seemed off with the formation. Kind of led to some confusion, and then finally some movement.
They were yelling over to the left side for the receivers lined up out there to move somebody back, move somebody to the side, maybe come back to the backfield, whatever it was. Confusion ensued. Brock St. Gelais back in the huddle. 3.5 to go here in the game. The Bulldogs lead 30-10. With the Lancers, as you mentioned, trying to get some late game points on the board. 4 receivers set for St. Gelais. He takes the snap. Swing pass to the right-hand side. Here's Teeter. Tries to get to the right edge. Breaks 2 tackles. Spins away from another. Still on his feet near the near sideline. And a lot of effort gets him ahead 5 yards to the 40-yard line. He's back to the original line of scrimmage after the penalty.
That might be the hardest 5-yard run we've seen in a while.
Great elusiveness there, though. Broke through a couple, spun out of another couple of tackles. Stayed in bounds, though, and the clock continues to tick. 2:45 to go in the game. Bedford ahead 30-10. The Lancers in their huddle don't seem to have a tremendous amount of urgency as they likely understand this game is most likely out of reach. St. Gelais takes the snap. He'll keep it himself, take it off the right-hand side, trying to keep him back just by his hand warmer, Muff.
Yeah, St. Gelais is the kind of change of pace quarterback that we have. Usually does a little more of the option reads and runs, so as you saw there.
Bissonette couldn't make the tackle. They mark it at the 36-yard line inside Bedford territory. Looks to be about 3rd and 5 as we tick inside 2 minutes. St. Gelais, 3 receivers to the near side into the boundary, 1 split out to the left, takes the snap. Play action up the middle. He delivers it deep to the right. A fluttering ball as he took a hit just as he was delivering the ball. Santos and Bayer back there. A flag came in from the back judge. So possibly a defensive holding, possibly a defensive pass interference. They'll sort through it.
Yeah, I think it was a fluttering of the ball and a fluttering of the yellow flag all at the same time.
The call is holding against Bedford.
Defensive holding, as you saw signaled from the head referee. They'll march off the yardage. Clock is stopped at 1:34 to go in the game. The Bulldogs ahead 30-10. They'll place it at the Bedford 26-yard line. Enough for a first down. So the Lancers trying to get some last-minute points here. Chris, overall thoughts from the game as the Lancers go to the line of scrimmage here?
I don't think it was quite exactly as we thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a run dose heavy from the Bedford side, but they really gotten their success on the passing front.
St. Gelais hands it off to Teeter. He tries to take it up the middle and wrapped up quickly. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
On the run was number 1, Javion
Yeah,
Teeter.
Bedford really did their damage on some long pass plays. And then obviously add the 100-yard pick 6 here at the very end is really kind of what is kind of created our space here on the scoring front.
Coach Lozon takes a timeout. He wants to talk it over with 1:23 to go in the game. Quick scoring summary. The Bulldogs started the scoring on a 12-yard touchdown run, their first possession of the game. Bennett Matthews taking it to the house. That was answered quickly by an Adrian Cruz 15-yard touchdown run to make it 7-7. The Bulldogs threw an interception, but a punt muff couldn't result in the Lancers capitalizing on either the interception or the punt muff. Elijah Todd was able to actually put the Bulldogs ahead 10-7. And then Helton with a 2-yard touchdown run right before halftime put the Bulldogs ahead 17-7 at halftime. But you hear a cheer here from the Lancer faithful as they just announced the final for the Pinkerton game. So Memorial with a big upset over Pinkerton. 28-25, I believe, was the final. Second half scoring, Elsmore with a 31-yard touchdown catch, and then that pick 6, a 100-yard return on the interception, putting the Bulldogs up 30-10. Little swing pass here for Teeter. Evades a couple of tacklers. We see a flag on that far sideline. Possibly a hold on the offense. We'll see how they sort that. And then another flag. That one likely the Bulldogs chirping. Things getting a little silly now. That'll likely be a first down for the Lancers. We've seen the Bulldogs get a little lippy in some of their games, and now we're going to see a substitution likely on the player with the loose lips. 1:15 to go in this game. A 20-point lead for the Bulldogs. We got some stuff to take care of.
Yeah, the first flag definitely looked like a hold from the wide receiver side, which was going to set Londonderry back, but the second one's going to most likely give them a first down.
Say a couple of thank yous here as we get down to the closing minute of action. John Bolio on main camera this evening for Londonderry TV. We really appreciate that. Leah and Mary, 2 students here helping with the replays. Andrew Fenn back in the studio for BC TV with the control. Harry Kozlowski helping with the radio as the radio engineer. Really appreciate Chris Von Pischel in the studio this evening. And thanks to Lancer Media overall. We really appreciate their support bringing this broadcast out to Londonderry, as well as the Bedford faithful all over the place. They march off the penalty on the Lancers, and now they'll march it forward, the penalty on the Bulldogs. A little back and forth. We're playing a little yo-yo here in the last minute.
I was going to say it was a bit of equivalent of a penalty head fake.
It results in a 2nd down and 4 for the Lancers.
2nd and 4 for the Lancers. Taking the snap now, looking out to the right-hand side, feeling pressure and going down. The Lancers will take a snap and a sack. As 13, Gabriel Dantas at quarterback, and he goes down hard on his back. Big number 8 barreling in for the Bulldogs, Zane Beskar, the tight end and defensive end. Big impact there. Coach Lozon takes another timeout. 57 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah, Gabriel Dantas is a senior, so I'm sure Coach Lozon is just trying to get him out there, get him a couple plays to end his last senior night.
30-10 is your score. 57 seconds remaining in this match here between the Bulldogs and the Lancers. The Bulldogs would advance to 7-0 on the season. 6-0 in New Hampshire. The Lancers will fall to 2-5. Bulldogs next up for them. They will play on Halloween night, next Friday night, against the Keene Blackbirds. An appropriate foe on Halloween. The Lancers will go to Wyndham next Saturday to play against Wyndham at 1 p.m.
Yeah, and the Lancers 2-5 in state, 3-5 with their game that they won at Duxbury in Massachusetts.
Dantas still in at quarterback, takes the snap, fumbles it. It's on the ground. The Bulldogs will sack him again back outside the 35-yard line.
Number 13, Gabe Dantas, is sacked on the play.
It'll be 4th and long for this Lancers offense.
Well, I'm sure Gabriel Dantas was happy to get in there and get some action. Probably not the way he saw it when he ran in.
Tough one there. Mishandled the snap back from center in the shotgun, and that set off some tough times for the senior quarterback.
Brings up 4th down and 23 for the Lancers.
20 seconds to go here as we tick down in the final minutes. The Lancers offense stays on the field. Empty backfield for Dantas. Motion man left to right is Teeter. They run the jet sweep out to the right-hand side. Gets down to the 35 and into the 30-yard line. Zeros are on the scoreboard, and that'll do it tonight as the Bulldogs come to Londonderry. They take home victory. 30-10 is your final score. Again, for Lancer Media and BCTV, as well as WBNH. Chris Von Pischel here in the booth. I'm Corey Munstertiger. We appreciate everybody joining tonight. Any last thoughts, Chris, before we sign off?
No, great games. Great senior night for Londonderry here. Good game on both sides. It's a good, exciting one, and good end to the game.
30-10 again is your final. The Bulldogs victorious. We will join you next week again from Bedford Bulldog Stadium on BCTV and WBNH for their last game of the season against Keene. Until then, have a great night. We'll hope to join you next week. Thanks again, Chris. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Corey.